We are live for episode 117 of the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Capozziello, here with Justin Ray, and we are going to talk a little football. We're going to talk a little basketball, maybe get into some UFC, some trivia. Main topic, the news busted. I texted Justin about it, I think on Sunday. I was like, not news is pretty slow this week. We're not getting a lot of news, but there's two things that might drop, the D-Hop and the Dame news. So just be wary. I know I've been, preaching D-Hop to the Patriots, Justin, but he signed with the Tennessee Titans.
I'm just as sad as you are, Brandon.
We're both a couple of sad Patriots fans. But before we get into that, how you doing this fine Thursday morning?
I'm doing good. Watching my little doggy over here. He's driving me crazy, but I'm getting ready. I got a concert to go to tonight for any fans that listen to NF. My girlfriend's a huge fan, so we're gonna go out there, go to Jersey, and watch a concert out there. And then Friday, we're getting ready to go to the beach if it doesn't rain.
Okay.
Taking off to have a nice little beach day. Your boy needs a tan. What about you?
Okay. So let's dive right into it. Let's not beat around the bush. The Tennessee Titans signed DeAndre Hopkins. I don't have the numbers right in front of me. I think it's up to $32 million.
Yeah, 2 years, 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think 26 is guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. So, Justin, let me just ask you straight up. Does DeAndre Hopkins make the Tennessee Titans a playoff contender or just a contender?
Contender as in Super Bowl, which is, what we all play for?
Yeah.
Or what they all play for?
Yeah.
I think that might be the funniest question I get because I don't take the Tennessee Titans as seriously as some other people do. And it sucks because it always comes down to one position, and I always feel like I just beating a dead horse whenever I say the quarterback. It really makes no sense to me. So I'm going to say no. It doesn't make them a Super Bowl contender because look at who they still have under center. Tennessee, multiple times we have seen them get into the playoffs. They've gotten far. I think they were in an AFC championship game playing against the Chiefs, and nobody would have told you that would have happened then. Nobody would have expected Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry to lead you there. But then we saw this new form of Derrick Henry that we weren't used to when he broke out in that year when they knocked off Tom Brady and the Patriots. And then after that, we had higher expectations for them that they never met. Constantly in the postseason, it came down to a quarterback letting them down because while running the ball always works for that, running the ball in the winter months is the recipe for success. But you still at some points have to throw the football. And if you don't have the quarterback to do that, that's going to be your bugaboo. That's going to be what's going to shoot you in the foot. And that's what we've seen. So it makes zero sense to me. Brandon, I don't know if you heard what Hopkins was looking for on this little free agent pursuit. But he wanted stable management. He wants a QB who loves the game. He wants a great defense. And he chose... Oh, and did I say stability from a front office? Yeah. So he hasn't gotten that anywhere. And he chose Tennessee over New England. It's, we can do the rundown. Who would you rather have? And answer me, B. Mac or Tannehill?
I'm taking Mac.
You take the first round pick. That's the future of the organization.
Yeah.
Bill or Mike Vrabel? While Mike Vrabel's incredible, who you going?
There's levels to this game. I love Vrabel. I think if you ask a lot of players, they'd be like, I want to play for Mike Vrabel, but we all know Bill Belichick's the GOAT.
So we got Bill. Whose stability are you taking, the Pats or the Titans?
Yeah, I'm not buying all the bullshit rumors out there that the Bill's on the hot seat. He's been on the hot seat since 20. I'm not buying. Yeah, the Patriots. Yeah.
And then last but not least, what defense would you take over them?
I mean, it's not the. I know Tennessee, I'm looking at Pro Football Focus, and they were ranked the 10th defense overall.
Yeah.
I just, to me, anytime a team faced the Tennessee Titans, I don't feel like you fear anybody on the Tennessee Titans defensive wise. Mm-hmm. I think they got one kid. I'm blanking on his name, but it's
Jesse
not.
Diamonds, the Bayard, they have some names.
But there's no you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't see it because you hit the nail on the head. To me, it's right. It starts and ends with Ryan Tannehill, mm-hmm. And when you've got that guy under center, you're only going to go as far. And I know you mentioned they got to the AFC Championship game. That was a lot of circumstance. That really shouldn't have happened. And I just see, if DeAndre Hopkins was thinking championships, if that was in his mind, he failed. So there's no way you can look at me and say he was thinking championships when he made this move. Because if it was about championships, you go to, if it was, well, I should say, if it was just about championships and you don't give a crap about how much you make, then you go to the Bills or the Chiefs, right? But he obviously wanted some money, and there were reports that the Patriots were willing to match the money, but there would be a lot more incentives. That's usually how Bill runs his show. You got to earn it to get your money, right? D-Hop probably didn't want that, obviously didn't want that, and he chose the Tennessee Titans. Like I said, you went down the rundown. It makes no sense in my mind for DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to a guy who's, I think, 32, right in the back end of his prime, probably got maybe 2-3 more high caliber years left.
Sure.
Everything goes right. He might be able to stretch it to 4, and today's technology and medicine and all that shit.
Sure.
But you're just not going anywhere, man. You're not going anywhere with the Titans. They're not going to win this division. The Jaguars have it locked up. The Jaguars just got better. They went to they made the playoffs after what a shitty start with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. Make the playoffs, make some noise, big time comeback against the Chargers, and now you add Calvin Ridley to that. Yeah,
it's just for me like. The Titans are not contending for anything. They are playing in one of the weaker divisions in football. And maybe that's what D-Hop is looking at, that there's a better chance he can make the playoffs or contend for playoff spots this way. But there is zero chance in my mind that just even adding D-Hop alone is going to push the Titans above. They had Julio Jones. That failed. They traded away A.J. Brown. Now, if you told me that you were adding D-Hop into a wide receiver room with an A.J. Brown, maybe we could have some conversations, but we're not. You go to a team that has been – so we have Ryan Tannehill, but this team doesn't believe in Ryan Tannehill, hence the reason they've drafted Will Levis and they drafted Malik Willis. You don't believe in your quarterback. So I don't understand. A guy like D-Hop, who has played with so many different – sorry, that's my puppy. Excuse me, Brandon, real quick.
So Justin's dog is just coming at him a little bit. But like Justin was saying, when you draft those two quarterbacks, obviously they didn't draft him in the first round. Will Levis was obviously projected to be a first round pick. He dropped to the Titans in the second round. When you draft back to back like that, you're obviously showing and saying. So you're saying without saying it. You're just showing, not telling. We don't believe in our quarterback. We want to move on. And for me, that's another move where I'm just like, okay, D-Hop, you go there. You have to know, like, I genuinely do question DeAndre Hopkins' football IQ after this move, because it's like you have to know they obviously want to move on from Ryan Tannehill. So you're going there kind of expecting a quarterback change either midway through the season, next season, or whatever the case may be. Why I don't know.
Before my dog interrupted me, exactly what I was going to say was all those quarterbacks that he played with. What you went through hell with Kyler Murray, just his lack of effort, his commitment to the game. That's why he says he wanted a QB who loves the game. That's why that was emphasized. You get that with a guy like Mac Jones. You get that. That's a true footballer, an Alabama guy who just studies the game over and over and over again. I don't know what really went into his head. I don't know if – I think Hopkins and Damian Lillard are sort of the same here. It's, do you really want to win? And I just – I'm at a loss of words how you can choose Tannehill. I mean, nothing against Vrabel, but the Titans' stability. If you want stability, you want a great defense that wins championships. Name me a team over the last 10 years that has won more Super Bowls than the Patriots on their defense. The Patriots win on their defense. We have one of the best defenses in the league. I think the reason why I'm so mad at it is because I really do feel if we had D-Hop in New England, that we'd be the Super Bowl contender. And now I feel like it's just a wasted move that he goes to Tennessee just to basically play football. Because if you ask me, after the showing last year, that division is going to go straight into Jacksonville with all the progressions with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Tennessee, while I think they'll contend, maybe D-Hop is a, 1-win improvement for Tennessee? Maybe 1 or 2. I don't know what the difference between 9 and 8, I guess. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, what? Oh, I'm blanking on the record last year. What was the record last year?
Titans,
Yeah, they were
were they
7 and
9
10. They
7
were
and
7 and 10. So what are they? 8 and 9 team, 9 and 8 team, like you said. Like they're basically a 500 team. And this is no shot at Diop because I truly do believe Diop is still a top 10 receiver. I think he's a high end top 10. I think he's right there 6'5", 7 in that conversation. Yep. It's just you went to a team that is kind of on the downside. Like they peaked with Ryan Tannehill. They peaked. They went to the AFC Championship, and that's kind of it. And I don't see the upside in this move for D-Hop besides I just got $32 million basically.
Maybe there's just something really wrong with New England at this point that players just don't want to be there. That's
it goes down to the incentives thing. Bill is always going to look out for his team. So he's going to try and protect his team the most, and he's not trying to give you that money. That's where I really think it came down to is D-Hop was like, he looked at the incentives and he was like, that's not it for me, man. And that's the move. That's what Bill's going to do, though. He's going to predict. He did that with Gronk every single time. He does that with everybody. You have to sign your contract with a lot of incentives because he's going to, make you work and make you earn it basically. And that's a positive way of looking at it. The way they look at it is like you're curving me. You're basically,
I get that, and now this is about to turn into what I can't stand about New England segment, but sometimes things need to change. So if that's one of the reasons why we lost out on a guy like D-Hop, we got to adapt with the times. Some teams are more desperate than we are or have that urgency to succeed at this very moment. And I don't get that out of New England at sometimes just to protect the salary cap. I don't know about you, but since Tom Brady left, I would do anything to win one more Super Bowl just without Tom. If it's with Mac, let's just go all in. But we don't have a coach that does that. We don't have a coach that I feel adapts to that spending spree, I guess. And he's done it before. But to go get us that number one receiver that we've been longing for years, I don't know why he's so, prone not to pull that trigger. He doesn't want to pull that trigger for that number one. D-Hops don't grow on trees. So just assuming that, okay, we're going to just go through the motions of this year and go through another maybe 9 and 8, 10 and 7 season where we're barely sniffing the playoffs or just making it. I don't understand what's going on in New England. So I know what you said. You said if Bill Belichick is even on the hot seat, like you don't believe in it. But I honestly, I'm not surprised if he is. Just with certain things that have come into light about him and Robert Kraft and what Kraft wants and what Bill wants. At some point, if this team keeps going downhill, then I think it's going to happen. I think it'll be inevitable.
Well, so I do want to say this, right? We can quickly touch on the Patriots, because we're going to get into their schedule a little bit. But you know what? Let's dive into their schedule right now, and then we'll get to the Saquon talk since we're on the Patriots, right?
I think we already agreed that D-Hop is not the needle mover.
No, he is not the needle. The Tennessee Titans are going to, like you said, improve either to 8 and 9 or 9 and 8. They're not, and I don't think that's going to be enough to win. It's definitely not going to be enough to win their division. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be enough to make the playoffs. We went through the AFC before. It's it might be the most stacked conference in NFL history. And I'm not even kidding. You go look at that top 10 of quarterbacks. There's a lot of, that's hard to break in. Like when you're the 10th best quarterback in your conference is like, Deshaun Watson or somebody like that, like that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Or Trevor Lawrence, like that's wild. So you're not breaking into that upper echelon tier of the AFC without needle movers. And while D-Hop could be a needle mover, he needs to be paired with something. And that always goes back to Justin. What do I always say? It's a quarterback's game. Quarterbacks drive wins.
Yep.
And you need a quarterback to win the game. D-Hop doesn't have that quarterback. No offense to Ryan Tannehill, but he's just not that guy.
I think you're banking on a lot of improvement from Traylon Burke, which could happen too. But like I said, I just don't feel like this is a move that, one, either Tennessee needed to make or New England should have just dove in. DeAndre Hopkins really
I will say this, and maybe I shouldn't say it because we're in the same fantasy football league. The draft is coming up at the end of August. I'm going to have it, and people in our league might be watching right now. And it's buffering up, Justin. I don't know if you know, it was 8-man last year. We've got 12 people this year.
Oh,
we're bumping up. Competition's coming, Justin.
My kind of league. I finally need some competition.
Oh, don't do that. But no, what I was going to say is, obviously Derrick Henry is always going to be a plus in fantasy, but DeAndre Hopkins is also probably going to be a plus now too because of the attention Derrick Henry gets, and they're probably going to force feed DeAndre Hopkins. Let's be honest. And D-Hop still has skill. Like they're going to put up numbers, but they're not going to equate to wins at the end of the day as well. So.
He's always going to be a PPR magnet, but I don't know if he's going to equate to as many yards as he can get. Like,
well, maybe yeah, he's not gonna. I don't think you want to bring him as a number one receiver in fantasy, but like number two, a flex, 100%. I love that.
No, absolutely. No, I would dive in for that.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into this Patriots schedule. It's not looking great, Justin. To the first game of the season. Let's be honest. We're facing the defending NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. It's in New England. It's in Foxborough. Mm-hmm. And guess what? The hometown kid, the golden boy, is going to be there. We're going to honor him, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT.
Number 12.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. He's going to be there, but he's going to witness a beatdown. You know what? No, I won't say a beatdown. I think the Patriots are going to come. They always come prepared. I know last year we shot the bed in a lot of departments, but we usually always come prepared. But I have them taking an L. I gotta be honest with you.
You know, week one is a super wild card. You just all these teams are getting their feet wet. But I think defending NFC champions, I'm gonna roll Philly this time around, and I don't see it being a blowout though. Like you said, I do see New England coming in there prepared. I know this is a super early prediction, but I think New England's going to shock a lot of people. I think we all expect a Bill Belichick-led team to be a tough one. And I think if there's any person that could figure out defensive schemes, hold Jalen Hurts a little bit, it's Bill Belichick. So I think it'll be a close one. I won't predict a score, but I got Philly winning that game, but it'll be a close one.
All right, week 2, again in New England. Miami Dolphins are coming to Foxborough. I'm kind of mad about that. I wish that it was flipped, that they were coming to Foxborough later on in the season.
I'm happy that's not the case, because if we were going to Miami in week 2, I would have called that a loss.
Yeah, but it's also going to be fine weather for them in New England, most likely in early September. Like it's not going to,
fine weather, but blazing in Miami.
Yeah, but still, I just Max used to. He went to Alabama, dude. All right. And, and I should say it's a Sunday night football. It's prime time.
I got New England.
You got New England?
I got New England. I think Miami comes into our turf. I think it'll be the beginning of one that flip-flops a lot. This will be a good rivalry. Miami's getting better. New England's getting a little better. But ultimately, I think we defend our turf. I can't see us starting off 0-2.
That's true. 0-2 is going to be a tough one. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Miami. I got to be honest. Even though I'm a Miami Heat fan, I'm not a big fan of Miami and Miami Dolphins, okay? I had a bad experience in Miami when I was a kid. I got stung by a jellyfish. It was bad. But I'm also going to roll with you. I'm going to say New England takes that W. Like you said, I don't think that you can say Miami's going to. I mean, New England's going to start off 0-2. That's again a tough one. I know we might be buying into yesteryears for Bill Belichick led teams, but still, we do have to mention Bill O'Brien is there now. He's going to upgrade the offense. The offense is going to be better. I have no doubt about that. The pieces haven't really changed. Like I said, we switched out Juju for Jacoby. They're very relatively the same receiver. We added Gesicki. I think he's better than Jonnu Smith, especially for what we were paying Jonnu.
I'm excited to see him.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of two tight end set, Justin. 2011 New England Patriots football with the late Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
That's the style offense I expect from the New England Patriots, and a lot of Ramondre Stevenson. He's going to have another. I know he's kind of been breaking out, but this is going to be, I think, his year because no Damian Harris now. He is the back, and he's also shown some good hands as well. So I'm going to take the New England Patriots to get this job done. I hope so too because I don't want to.
I don't want to start the season 0-2. We got week 3. And this is a big one. This is a game that I'm actually circling on my schedule.
Oh yeah,
week 3 at New York against the Jets. First time going up against Aaron Rodgers in a Jet uniform. This one scares me. I'm not gonna lie. And the Jets are not the Jets that we grew up watching. They're not the same team. And last year sort of showed that. The tough games that they played against us, their defense is legit. Now you add in some offensive pieces on top of Aaron Rodgers, the biggest acquisition in free agent in the offseason completely. I'm going to actually say the Jets are going to win this game at home. I think the difference between 2 games this past season was the quarterback. And now you add in Aaron Rodgers, I think the Jets get immensely better. So I'm going to roll with the Jets here, and I don't say that with a smile on my face.
Yeah, you know what? Because I do think the Patriots and Jets are going to split, so I'm going to say the Jets take this one, and then the New England will win the one later on in the season. Next up, God damn, we got another tough. We are going to Dallas.
Tough start.
Big D taking on the Cowboys. The Cowboys right now are favored by 6 points. It's not surprising. I have high hopes for the Dallas Cowboys this year. It sucks to say, but I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game, even though I think Mike McCarthy is the. I'm disappointed. I said that. If we had D-Hop, I would be picking us in a lot more of these games. I'll be honest with you.
Actually, so I still think since it being early in the season, I'm very critical on the Dallas Cowboys. Always have been, always will be. Kind of one of those Cowboys are going to cowboy. They are who they thought they were kind of thing. Wow. I'm going to roll with New England getting a W in Dallas. I do not believe in Dak Prescott. And the last time we saw Dak Prescott play against a Bill Belichick defense, he looked lost. And I think that'll happen again. So I'm going to roll with New England getting a big win on the road against Dallas. I think Mac has a day, but most importantly, I think the defense has a day. So right now I got the New England Patriots starting the season 2-2 through 4.
Okay, that's a good shout to say that. Okay. Next up, this is kind of a reprieve game. Coming back home in New England. I hope you think it's a reprieve game. You better not be. We're beating the New Orleans Saints. The Saints usually play better, much better at home. They're going to be on the road this week. Dennis Allen, the coaching gap is going to be just exorbitant. I got the New England Patriots taking this game.
I think the Saints are a sneaky team. No matter what, really can't rule them out. So I don't like guaranteeing that we're going to steal a W from New Orleans because they can play us tough. But I'm going to say a home game. Coming off of a big road win against Dallas, I think Patriots take this one against the Saints.
Okay, good.
And it's Derek Carr. Derek Carr never really looks good against us, too. That's another one.
Even though I do think the Saints are going to, I don't know how much better they're going to be per se. I just think that they're going to look better on offense, if I got to be honest with you. Next up, Traveling to, speaking of Derek Carr's, his former team, going to Vegas, going to that Death Star, that beautiful stadium. I really want to go to it one day. The New England Patriots are taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. I know last year everybody's gonna say point and laugh at us. Yeah, blah blah blah. Blow it out your ass. We got 6 championships. All right, it happened. What happened. That's not gonna happen again. We're taking this game. We're rewriting the wrong. We're taking this game, and I have us being 3-3.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with you here. I think there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
No way. No how.
Bill Belichick is going to go back into Vegas and lose another game after that debacle that happened last year.
No.
And with Jacoby Myers on the other sideline, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Jimmy
no way.
G basically playing the Patriots light.
Brandon, if we lose this game, I think I might have to take a break from Patriots football for a while.
It's gonna be.
I think so. I'm gonna book it down as a W for New England. That'll be 3 straight on my book.
Nice.
We got week 7.
Yep. This is taking on our big rivals since Tom has left, and people are saying crowning Josh Allen. He's beating up on the Patriots. He's beating up on an inferior team. He wasn't doing that when Tom was there. Let's just get that out of the way. But the Bills are going to take this game. I want to hear you talk before I act, because I might consider a split. Let me hear your.
So I'm not going to consider a split. I'm not. But so I'll just jump the gun here and say I see Buffalo sweeping us this year. I think Buffalo's still a good team. I understand that their offseason was questionable. Some moves that people wish they made and they didn't. But they had a tough exit out of the postseason. I think Buffalo's going to come out very strong in the regular season. And I feel like our defense is Josh Allen's our kryptonite. And he just makes his plays. He makes his throws. He's one of the toughest quarterbacks to scheme around. And I think that the same thing's going to happen. Same thing he's been doing to us the last 2 seasons. I see Josh Allen going crazy on us in Buffalo. Yeah.
I'll be rooting for the Patriots, but I got it. We're taking an L there. Now we got it. All right, so we're going to Miami now. It is in, where are we at? October 29th.
Week 8.
Kind of late. Wish it was in December. Really kicking in that New England weather. But I do. I don't care what anybody says. I think we're splitting with Miami. So I'm going to wait. Oh, I had us winning week 2. Did you have us winning week 2?
Yeah.
So are you going to have us losing this game?
Against Miami?
Yeah.
Yep. It's in Miami, so I see us splitting. New England defends their turf, and I think Miami does the same on theirs.
Oh my God, I'm bugging. I looked at the game and thought the game was in New England. Okay.
Oh no, yeah, this is Miami.
Yeah, this one's Miami. I got them mixed up in my mind. All right. So yeah, Miami will take that W. Yeah. All right, that's an L for us. 2-game losing streak for us, but this one I think that we're gonna get it back. Coming back to New England. This one is in New England. Taking on the Washington Commanders. God, what a terrible name. It should have been the Red Wolves. What a cool name. The Red
Wolves.
Wolves.
Would have been so cool.
And the logos that you could have came up with. Oh,
the merch. Come on. The merch.
Choose the freaking Commanders. What a bunch of jabronis. But yeah, I'm having New England winning that game. No dubs for Washington.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't even want to talk really much about Washington. Yeah, I think they have talent on their team. I love Scary Terry. I love Robinson in the backfield too. But yeah, I got New England winning. If they find a way to lose this game, I will tell you this though. If this New England team is anything like the ones in the last 2 years, I'm scared of this game. I will be scared of this game. Yeah, so I will be. From what I've seen out of our team over the last 2 seasons, there's a lot of inconsistency. Teams that we think we should run away with wins don't happen that way. So I'm actually putting this game as a question mark. On my book, I'm going to put a W, but in the back of my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is flipped.
Yeah, I still think that Bill shows up and his defense shows up against inferior quarterbacks, especially young ones.
Yep.
So I hear you, but I just don't think that they're going to be able to. Sam Howell is going to get this done. I think Bill is going to force Sam Howell to beat him. We've got great cornerbacks. Well, I should say a great cornerback core. We don't have like one true great one yet. So Terry's going to be, focused on a lot. They're going to force Sam Howell to beat us, and I don't think he's going. I think I could see him turning the ball over 2 to 3 times in that game, to be honest with you. Next up, Sunday morning. This one, I believe, is across, Frankfurt Stadium in Germany.
The Germany game.
I am German, 25%. I'm 25% German. The Germans are going to get a treat. New England's taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Here's a quick question. Will Anthony Richardson be starting for the Indianapolis Colts for this game?
Man, from all the things that we've heard and people propping him up, I can't see how that doesn't happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
And there goes everything that I was saying to you guys before this, where I was like that pressure is going to start coming. The crowd's going to start chanting for him. You don't have a true starting quarterback not even a true bridge starting quarterback. You have Gardner Minshew.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Gardner, but Gardner's a backup. Okay, he's not a bridge starting quarterback. He can start 3, 4, 5 games for you, but he's not. So that pressure is going to come. It's going to be bad for him. And I got the New England Patriots taking this game, especially if either way, whichever quarterback starting, the Patriots are gonna make them make their day hell.
I think Indy's going to be looking for some explosion when they see that their offense is pretty, as strong as a water gun. So I think they're going to be looking for that explosion, and I think A-Rich will provide it. So this isn't a walk in the park game, because this could be. I mean, this is me putting A-Rich on a pedestal, but he could have a Lamar Jackson-like impact on this team, and then boom, next thing you know, we can find ourselves losing this game. But this is a game in Germany. I'm going to take my odds against Bill Belichick versus a rookie quarterback or a backup quarterback, and I'm going to say Patriots.
All right. Next up,
it's a bye week too, so that's perfect.
Oh, that's a bye week? Okay.
Yeah, week 11 bye.
Nice. All right, and then we come back and we face our New York foe, the New York Giants. We're going to Meadowlands again. Twice this year we're going to Meadowlands. Yep. New England Patriots are taking this game.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Your boy Daniel Jones is going to be no.
You see, for me, this is not an easy game to pick because of Brian Daboll. I guess it's just a lot of respect for him. Yeah. I think Daniel Jones does get better than what he was last year, so I don't think it's a walk in the park either, because you're going into the Meadowlands. It's funny, speaking of the Meadowlands, I don't know if you know this, but they changed the 50-yard line. So normally it was the NFL logo, but for Giants games, it's going to be the NY. But anyways, that's a side note. So we'll see that game. But I got New England winning this one.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into it after the schedule. The move that might be happening is going to probably negatively impact Daniel Jones a lot if it does happen. Next up, back to New England. In December, a sunny team is coming to a cold stadium. The Chargers, I think this is going to be – I think this is a try. I think the Patriots are going to take this game because of the weather impact. I truly do. I believe that.
I do have New England winning this game. I don't know if Justin Herbert's the man, and I love him. I'm a big fan.
Really?
I feel like he is prone to mistakes.
Okay.
Because he might throw you into an L, and I think that'll happen. I think the defense will stifle. I'm really relying so much on this defense because I don't know what to expect out of the offense. But I do believe that the defense will stifle Justin Herbert enough, capable of doing that. So I'll get New England getting another W here. I think we're getting hot at this point in the season.
Yeah, I got us up to 4 wins right now, 4 wins in a row. And we're going to keep that train rolling, going to Pittsburgh.
Sorry, John.
It's happening again.
Sorry.
It happened last year. We own the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's always going to happen. It's always going to be that way. I love Mike Tomlin, Hall of Famer, but the Patriots are taking this game.
Sorry, John. I'm with him too. I think it'll be the same result as last time. It'll be one little play that flips the script, and then next thing you know, New England is marching down to victory. Yep. And I can't wait to watch that game with you, John. We have to do that this year.
and Juju, this is a revenge game for Juju, so he's going to be looking to put on a show against his former team. But 5 wins in a row, the party stops here.
Yeah, same.
Listen, if my brother's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, Justin, okay? You know, I have to, kind of remind him every once in a while, just who the true king is and was around these parts, Patrick Mahomes never beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. Let's just put that out there. It never happened. When the money, was on the line and all the chips were pushed to the middle of the table, Justin, the GOAT came out on top against Baby GOAT. All right? But I've always said, and I've always given the credit to the Kansas City Chiefs, they are the new team in the NFL right now. They are. And it's been that way for a couple of years now. You got to give it to them. They're taking this game. It's in New England, but still, it doesn't matter. You're taking it out.
Yeah, I just don't feel like we have the offensive firepower to contend with them. Now, if you had a guy like D-Hop and then let everybody else develop around him, maybe so. But that didn't happen. That didn't work out in our favor, as we mentioned earlier. So I'm going KC.
Yeah. Next up, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to Mile High. This is December 24th, Christmas Eve. This is a tough game to pick, right? I'm going back and forth because if we're going to Mile High. We always have a little bit of trouble in Mile High. It's kind of like Miami for us. Sean Payton's there. We don't know what predicting what the Broncos are going to do this season is a very difficult task because you have no idea. You're on one side of the coin or the other. Either you believe Sean Payton's going to fix Russell Wilson and they're going to be the team that everybody believed they were going to be last year before the season, or you believe Russell Wilson is completely broken and he's not going to Sean Payton cannot fix him and they're going to be dead in the water basically, and they're going to have to, fix up shop and Sean's going to have to find a way to get rid of Russell Wilson. But you have to choose what side. I'm on the side where I think Sean Payton is going to help Russell Wilson come back to what he was. Yeah, and with that being said, Broncos have a phenomenal fucking defense just like us, but I think I think the Broncos are going to take this game.
Yep, I'm with you here. I think I mentioned Aaron Rodgers being the best acquisition in the offseason. Second best is probably Sean Payton to the Denver Broncos. Yeah. So I'm going to go Denver here and Mile High. I don't know what time this game is, but
Sunday night.
It's a Sunday night game, of course. So yeah, I got Denver winning this one. This hot streak that I had on my schedule quickly goes cold.
Yeah. It's going to because, you said we're not splitting Buffalo.
No.
We're going to Buffalo. So, yeah, I think that's a L there for week 16, is it, I believe? 17. And that is New Year's Eve, too. So we're going to be going into the New Year's 3-game losing streak.
Tough holidays, man.
2024 comes around, Justin. We're in New England. Final game of the season. The Patriots are taking this game. We're going to end the season with a W and beat the New York Jets.
I'm on the opposite end.
You're on the opposite end.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end. I think week 18, I think the Jets are going to have a lot more to play for. I think they'll be playing for a higher seed in the postseason while we'll be trying to scrap for a playoff spot. Ultimately, I think this ends with us finishing 9-8 this season and taking an L in week 18.
So I have us finishing 9-8 to finish off the season. That is a 1-game improvement from last year. But I think while that's a 1-game improvement, you go, wow, I think we're going to look a lot better than what we did last year. Like last year, we won 8 games, but it was sloppy and it was dirty and grimy as hell. This year, I think it's going to be a lot cleaner. While we're still going to play, some, grimy football, especially defensively, I think the offense is just going to look much more cleaner, and you're not going to have while we're going to finish 9-8, I think it's going to be a much more cleaner 9-8.
Where was our difference in schedule? No, we're both 9-8. I thought we had one thing different. Didn't we have? You had Dallas beating us.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's our difference?
So I have my. Oh, let me count. Wait, I might have miscounted. One.
Yeah, I'll
Two,
run mine down real quick.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I have week 1, L against Philly. Week
Yeah.
2, W against Miami. Week 3, L against the Jets. Week 4, win against Dallas. Week 5, win against the Saints. Week 6, a win at Vegas. Week 7, a loss to Buffalo. Week 8, a loss at Miami. Week 9, a win versus Washington. Week 10, a win versus Indy and Germany, the bye week. And then week 12, a win against the Giants. Week 13, win against the Chargers. Week 14, a win at Pittsburgh. Week 15, 16, 17, and 18, L's against Kansas City, Denver.
Oh, it's the New York Jets. It's the final game. I have us winning.
Okay.
And you have us losing. You have us getting swept by the Jets. I have us winning. I think that's the well.
Yeah, it's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay. So yeah, I have yeah. So wait, you have us 9-8?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, only difference was that Dallas and that last Jets game.
Yeah, so that's what switched it for us. So yeah, so we both have us, finishing a game better. If D Hop was on this team, I think there's a couple of games there.
I'd maybe 2.
I would definitely have us splitting with Buffalo if we had D Hop. So overall, it's going to be a pluser season for us, right? But I feel like a lot of questions will still be unanswered at the end of the season. Maybe they'll be answered.
But that's what I was going to say. I believe we will have a lot of answered questions coming away from the season. I think we're going to really figure out, 1, is Bill Belichick really on the hot seat? 2, is Mac Jones really our quarterback? And then 3, what's the direction? What's the future of this team? And it really just comes down to how well we perform in these games. Because it's not just, losing a game or winning a game, but how convincingly we do so. If we can play a game if we have a tight loss against the Jets and we show that, oh man, somebody really stepped up here, another big Kyle Duggar game, or somebody else emerged off of the D-line or in that secondary that can show us that we have something to look forward to in the next season. So I don't have Super Bowl aspirations, but I do think that we can play competitive football. And some of these losses that like the game against Denver, well, that can be flipped into a W. A game against the Jets can be flipped into a W. I even think against Kansas City, our defense can contend. So I think we'll have a competitive season, but still, we're going to find out a lot. Is Bill O'Brien enough to bring Mac Jones, up, or did Matt Patricia and Joe Judge ruin him? So that's really the biggest question.
That is the $1 million question, as they say, Justin. So moving on to the next topic. Saquon Barkley. I don't know if you saw the clips of the podcast out. I didn't.
Oh yes, I did.
I didn't watch them, but I obviously saw the
I only saw the clip. Yeah, I saw the clips.
So talk to me, Goose. Saquon Barkley is threatening he might sit out. He used a little more, choice words, but
I'll say it for you.
Go ahead.
I got a quote. Saquon Barkley said, "My leverage is I could say fuck you to the Giants, or I can say fuck you to my teammates." I think that's a very strong statement coming out, and he basically threatened saying, "I can show them my worth by sitting out. I can show them my worth. If I'm not worth how much I'm asking for, if I sit out, let's see how much I impact the team, how my absence impacts the team." And I feel like this is one of the more fascinating topics I feel in sports today. All these running backs coming together and, fighting for, I guess, more money or for more security than what they actually get. Austin Eckler complaining that the Chargers weren't willing to move him for a certain amount of picks, that they held him to such high regard, but aren't willing to pay him in high regard. So they weren't willing to move him for a second or first round pick, but they also won't pay him like he's worth a second and first round pick either. So there's a lot going on in this running back community, wondering who's worth it, who's not. And in all honesty, I'll say it right now, the Giants are stupid if you do not pay Saquon Barkley. What he did for you during the season, it wasn't just the Daniel Jones show. Daniel Jones had a spectacular season, but that isn't possible without Saquon Barkley. And we saw his impact in big games last year. So if you don't pay Saquon, he's not just a running back. He is the running back. He is the running back for your team. He is probably one of the premier running backs in this game. If you give me a list of top 5 running backs, maybe Saquon's on yours. He's impactful in the passing game. He's impactful in the run game. Yeah, he's never been a just dead set runner. He's not running straight. No, he's sideline to sideline, and he's going to make people miss. He can carry a team on offense. He will get you 8 receptions in a game and rush for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is that guy. And if you're not going to pay him, then all that improvement that you made last year is all for nothing. You have to pay Saquon Barkley. You have to bring him home. This is an opportunity to make this guy a household name for the Giants. And in New York, that's a big deal. Bring him home. Keep him there for a long time. Don't sour this relationship if it's not soured already. Show them that you actually want him. And I feel like that's the problem with these organizations. They do this, and at this point, you wait all this time to pay them. And by this point, you already sour a relationship. So that player isn't even just there because he loves playing for this organization. He's there just because he's there for a paycheck. So you didn't express that love that he wanted to see. And now it's just sour grapes at this point. I really hope they salvage this.
Yeah, listen, I echo all your sentiments. Listen, it's so on Pro Football Focus, Justin, the New York Football Giants were ranked the 24th offense. That was last year. You take Saquon Barkley out of that offense, it's worse than the 24th, and that's already pretty bad as it is. They're going to regret this decision. This is a very murky territory, and this goes much deeper into, when you look at the NBA, we're obviously looking at right now the Damian Lillard situation. This is such a different situation because the NFL, we all know, and if you don't know, you've been sleeping on a rock and you need to wake up and realize it. The players don't run the league. The owners do. This is an owners run league. And it's not the NBA. The NBA is where I've said this before on the show. In the NBA, it's kind of 60-40 players, owners. And in the NFL, it's kind of 75-25 owners to players. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 70-30, 65, 35. But the owners have a majority of the leverage and everything. They can super incentivize your contract. They can franchise tag you for like 3 years is the max. They can do all these things, the guaranteed contract not being fully guaranteed, et cetera, et cetera. And we have 3 running backs now. You got Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard, all franchise tagged. All of them. None of them getting their payday. So we're seeing now the veteran running backs are creating a text chain to talk about this, to try and fix this situation. They're going public with it. Obviously, 2023, this is the new era that people go out and they fucking start tweeting and shit. And that's how they get their message out to everybody. But the collective bargaining agreement, I don't think is up until 2030. Mm-hmm. That's all about 6.5 years away. The owners don't have to move on this situation. Yeah. They don't have to do nothing. If Saquon, I just don't. I'm trying to think of other players that have sat out for contracts. Obviously, the one that comes to mind is Le'Veon Bell. I think he's the most recent one,
and he regrets it.
Because it's just, especially, you can't afford it, man. You really can't. Like when you're an athlete. When I look at athletes and I see this is more mixed martial arts. When I see people not fighting for like a year, 2 years. I just say, or once every year, I'm like, you're wasting your prime. And in football and basketball, when you skip a year, well, yeah, you might be able to say, I'm letting my body rest. It's like, but you're still a year older. Yeah. And you're wasting that prime. And you're also going to be rusty coming back. Stop riding a bike for a year. You're going to be a little rusty when you go back. Stop cooking for a year. You're going to be rusty when you go anything. You're going to be a little rusty when you start something new or when you go back to something you've left for a long ass time. Look at Deshaun Watson, perfect example. It's not – while he wants his money, it's also not in his best interest because when he comes back, it's going to take him some time. So many factors go into it. I get him. I get his idea of thinking, Justin. I just don't know. I don't know how to put. I don't know where this is going to lead. So, do you think he sits out?
So it's such a strong quote that if he sits out, he already made it known it would be a fuck you to his teammates.
Yes.
So for that reason, I don't see him sitting out. I just think he threw it out saying, I can do this. I can do this to show them my worth. I don't think he ultimately goes through with that. I think that's too strong of a statement to say and then actually go through with that, because then it really is you sticking a middle finger up to your teammates, and you already told them I'm sticking it up to you because I'm not getting paid what I'm worth, which I think is the messed up part. So I see him sticking through and actually playing for the Giants. But ultimately, I do see them coming to a deal. Maybe it's the deal that they originally offered him that he shot down. But I don't know where to go with this. It's really a big question on how do you value running backs? When I look at the New York Giants, I think of all the running backs that they've had in Saquon's tenure, and none of them are needle movers. None of them were enough to really impact the offense or make them that much better. So if you take out Saquon from that offense, you're only hurting yourself. You're not going to find another version of Saquon in the draft. Kansas City got lucky with Isaiah Pacheco, but before that, they went deep and drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round in the draft to get themselves a running back, and that didn't work out. So not all running backs are the same. Not all running backs have the same impact. I think ultimately, the Saquon situation gets handled, but I do not see running backs being treated any better going forward. I don't think it's going to change, because I think guys like I said, the Isaiah Pacheco's, the Cam Akers of the world that have been a part of Super Bowl winning teams now are just easily taken over. I mean, just look at the New England Patriots. We had Damian Harris. Right after him, Ramondre Stevenson. Before then, we used to have LeGarrette Blount running. Before then, I can go way back to the guy names like Stephen Ridley and such. Just guys that were so replaceable and might give you 1,000 yards too at the same time.
It goes back. Yeah, it goes back to we're in the era now where it's really running back by committee. Mm-hmm. Some of those elite running backs, break through and are able to get that, payday. But a lot of them, fall through. A lot of them decline once they like that thing to look at of the age 30. It really is true. You look at the running backs; they start to fall off really, really quickly. I mean, you look at Ezekiel Elliott. You look at Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was 27 years old, I think, and he's retired now. So many running backs, they peak so high and then they come down. It goes into how many touches they have and how many hits they take. There's this thing you have in professional wrestling. They call it like your bump machine or whatever you want to call it. You only have a certain amount of bumps in your back pocket that you can take. So your bump card. In football, it's kind of like the same thing. You only take a certain amount of hits, and then that your body starts wearing off. It's just it's nature. This is what happens when you collide into another grown ass man trying to take your head off, and you try to take his head off. This is the consequences for it. And running backs pay the ultimate price because they get upwards of 300 touches per year, possibly, especially if you're the elite ones. And you're talking, these guys might have upwards of, I mean, if we're even being safe, 750 carries before they even enter the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's only in college, so I'm not even talking high school.
Yeah,
it's insane. So, yeah, I feel for Saquon. I feel for the running backs. But I think the franchise tag is going to go away. I think when CBA comes around, I think they're going to have to negotiate that where you can only franchise tag once. Like you can only do it once, and then you're not allowed to do it again to the same player. Yeah. I think that has to be a main thing because this goes into business, right, Justin? The NFL owners are not trying to get rid of the franchise tag, right? Like you can try and agree, like make them get rid of it, but they're not going to budge on that. So what you have to do is obviously compromise. And the compromise would be, okay, you're only allowed to do it once per player.
Mhm.
And then that's it. I think that's a fair compromise to come to. You think that it gets resolved before the season?
In Saquon's case, yes.
Okay.
I believe Saquon gets taken care of. Like I said, with those quotes, if he really does sit out, it's really a straight up FU to his teammates, and I think they take that personally.
Yeah,
I think for a fact he's going to have to address those comments when he does sign his contract and then gets back into the locker room. But if you can you name me running backs that you feel aren't replaceable
in the league right now
at the moment?
Nick Chubb.
Okay. Even though you can make an argument when he had Kareem Hunt, if he sat out, they'd get the same amount. Well, maybe not the same, but a great impact.
Yeah, you can say that, but I just think Nick Chubb is different.
Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. I truly believe Nick Chubb is that on that level. So I would say Chubb, Henry, obviously King Henry. I think CMC is replaceable, man. I really do. Because of the injury concern. I just truly believe, and I think like you can find a guy who can.
Deontay Foreman played very well with the Panthers after.
I just feel like you can find a guy who can do what CMC does. Not exactly what he does, but be he's not going to get thousand, but be a running back and a receiving back in the same sense. We see it all the time. I mean, look at New England. But
I put him as one of those non-replaceable running backs.
I mean, I hear your argument. I just think right now he is replaceable. Especially, I mean, he's in an offense now where his strengths are going to be, really exuded through because of Kyle Shanahan and how he runs his offense.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like what we saw from him after the trade, probably one of the greatest trade acquisitions in NFL history, his impact immediately on the San Francisco offense. I don't think that's something that's just replicated. While San Francisco has been able to print running backs out, I mean, just look at Elijah Mitchell when somebody would go down. They've had big games out of Jeff Wilson, stuff like that. So they can pull rabbits out of a hat, but none of them made that impact that CMC had. And I think that's the difference between the great running backs and a good one. And I think CMC was capable of leading this team to a Super Bowl if it wasn't for a quarterback injury.
Yeah, I hear that. I just think the injuries are. That's why I wouldn't put Saquon. I mean, Saquon talent-wise, like if we're just talking talent, these guys are. But if we're talking, being available too is a very important thing to me. And I just think that Saquon and CMC are guys that you have to worry about. While their talent speaks for themselves, when you add that extra element of an injury concern, I just look at it and I say you're replaceable because of your injury concern.
See, I would put Saquon on that list of nobody can replace him. But that's the thing. And then maybe I don't know if you're ready to have that conversation, but maybe Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. How many? So Jonathan Taylor has been in the league how many years?
Like 3?
3 years. Yeah, and he said I can't put him there. He had one obviously incredible fucking season, but last year was down, got injured. I need to see him do it a little bit more consistently. He's only 24 years old, so I mean he has time to break into that conversation. I don't think he's in that conversation right now.
So realistically, looking at the entire league, we might only have 4 running backs that aren't replaceable. That you can't replace these guys.
So Derrick Henry. You have Derrick, yeah.
CMC, Saquon. And then I thought we picked one before Derrick Henry and Chubb.
Do you think Josh Jacobs is?
I think he's replaceable. One big year.
Yeah, I even though I'm a bigger fan of Josh Jacobs than you and John, I know that, but
maybe Austin Eckler might creep up my list because he is a touchdown machine.
Yeah, but I just think his running ability is not at the same par. He's a great receiving back, but I don't think he's even rushed for 1,000 yards. Alvin Kamara has obviously fallen off. He's not what he once was anymore.
He would have been on that list too for me if he hadn't been injured.
A guy that just popped up. Where the fuck? Aaron Jones of the Packers.
And look at him. He's in a committee.
He is, but I mean, I just remember so many major games from him, Justin. Like I feel like he's got like I don't even know how many 3 touchdown games he's got.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but he yeah, no, I agree. He's not in that conversation, but he is I do want to give him a.
Yeah, he's a very good running back.
There's not many. I'm looking through the teams right now, and I'm coming up empty, bringing you names of the guys. I mean, yeah,
no, it's true. I'm gonna go down a list before we move on. I'm gonna go on a list of running backs that have won Super Bowls recently. Let's work our way down. I don't know if you want to do this as a little trivia and you can guess them, but just to show you the running backs that are winning Super Bowls. Do you want to go?
So you're talking like name value running backs, right?
No, just name the running backs that were starting and won the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, so Kansas City, it was Pacheco because
correct.
Before that was
the Rams.
The Rams. That was Cam Akers was injured. Cam Akers was healthy. Yep. And then before that was the Bucks. That was Lenny.
Correct.
Then the Chiefs again. That one was that CEH? No. Jerick McKinnon?
Nope.
Who was that one?
Damian Williams.
So I know where you're getting because there isn't because now I'm trying to remember name value running backs. The last name value running back. So you obviously have the list. Where's the name value running back on that list? How far do you have to go down?
All right, so I have from all the way down to the New Orleans Saints Super Bowl.
And there's not.
So I guess the only name value running back would have been Marshawn Lynch with the Seahawks.
Yep.
And even Percy Harvin was taking reps as a running back in that. So it goes down. I'll continue it. It goes Sonny Michel with us. We have LeGarrette Blount on that list about 3 times. So with the Eagles and the Patriots, you got C.J. Anderson with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. So your star.
Yeah.
Ray Rice with the Ravens.
I would say he was name value.
He was name value at the time. Okay. Ahmad Bradshaw with the Giants.
Yeah, no.
James Starks with the Packers.
Oh my God, I liked him in Madden though.
Yeah, me too. In Madden, he was awesome. And then you got the running back group of Pierre Thomas and Reggie Bush in New Orleans.
Yeah, Reggie never fulfilled his potential.
So that it's something that is really a interesting debate when you want to talk about these running backs because it is. I can win a Super Bowl without you. You know, I can find these guys in a draft, and then after 4 or 5 years, all right, I'll find somebody else in the draft. Because the thing is, running backs, quite frankly, you can find a guy in the 5th, 6th round.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think who did Peyton have a good running back when he won that Super Bowl
against? They had Joseph Adai.
Yeah, was it Adai against the Bears? I think it might have been. Okay, so then before that, the next one after.
I think he had a die for the Saints one. I don't believe he had a die for the.
I'm blanking on the guy he had for the. Okay, now that's killing me, Justin. I have to know
who he had. The Hall of Fame running back too. I could be wrong.
Bears, Colts, Super Bowl. I
mean, think about it. Steelers, Rashard Mendenhall, right?
Yeah, that wasn't it. Oh, no, we're completely wrong. Dominic Rhodes. Never heard of him. Okay, so then, so I was right. So then before you even go, so after Ray Rice, so it'd be Marshawn and Ray Rice back to back, or not back to back, but, and then before that, you'd probably have to go to Marshall Faulk with the Rams.
Probably.
Wow. So, and then you go, then in the 90s, you get a couple more, TD, Emmitt Smith. That's where, running backs were able to get their shine. And this is where, again, it goes back to my fucking point where I drive the home of quarterbacks equal wins. They drive the wins. Mm-hmm. Wins are a quarterback stat, especially in today's football. When you rank receivers all time, when you rank receivers nowadays, when you rank running backs nowadays all time, tight ends, et cetera, You never ask how many Super Bowls they won. You never ask how many wins they have. You only do that. You only do that as a plus, like it's a cherry on top. Jerry's a 4-time Super Bowl champion. That's a cherry, or 5. That's a cherry on top, right? Randy Moss, second greatest receiver of all time, no Super Bowls. Chris Carter, no Super Bowls. Larry Fitzgerald, no Super Bowls. You have Michael Irvin, who's got 3. These guys don't have Terrell Owens, no Super Bowls. Running backs, you go down the list, right? Barry Sanders, no Super Bowls. That's why quarterbacks equate to wins, and that's why I drive home so much that wins are a quarterback stat. Because when you're ranking quarterbacks now, yesterday, then, and forever, you're always going to ask how many Super Bowls they won. You're always going to ask how many games they won, what's their winning percentage, et cetera, because those quarterbacks drive wins.
Yep. And you could, even just looking at these running backs that have won Super Bowls, you can also make an excuse too, is their rosters were kind of stacked.
And most of them, if I'm not mistaken, because this goes back to what it used to be. Run the football, play hard-nosed defense. All those running backs, I bet you, have great defense. You look at Marshawn Lynch, the Legion of Boone, Ray Rice, Baltimore, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Haloti Ngata, Ray Lewis. You look at
Justin Tuck.
Well, I mean, that's not. He's not. He's not that
defense,
name.
I'm saying the defense that he
the
had.
Defense, yeah. But and then you got. I'm talking about the high caliber. Running backs. Maybe Marshall Faulk. The Rams kind of had they were more of an offensive team back then, but they had a good enough defense. You look at the Cowboys. You look at the Broncos. It usually does go to running backs and defenses kind of go together. But I hear what you're saying. The lesser teams as well, Steelers and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it sucks for running backs. It's not. I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, no, I don't see it changing anytime soon. I think as long as people keep finding these young guns in the draft, it's unfortunately you can't do anything about it. You really can't. And if you're not staying on the field and you're not healthy, it makes you all the more replaceable. I think coaches like Bill Belichick have made it very clear about their organization. No matter who you are, what kind of star you are, everybody's replaceable. You're a number on the field. And I know players don't want to see it that way, but
I don't want to hear it.
That's how coaches view you. That's how the GMs view you. Fans, and from a fan perspective, you entertain us, so we want to see you get paid, we want to see you play, we want all that. But speaking from if I'm in the mind of a head coach or a GM, I'm looking at it like, okay, can I find better value elsewhere? You know what I mean? And you always have to be prepared for that. So I don't see it changing anytime soon. It's unfortunate, but the way we started this conversation was with Saquon. I think Saquon ultimately gets his deal done, but the rest of these running backs, I don't know if they'll be as lucky.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But I think we've exhausted that topic. So now,
yeah, we did.
Draymond Green, switching it up to basketball side, has spoken out. He was on the Patrick Beverley podcast a couple days ago, I believe. It might have been yesterday. And this was the quote. Draymond Green, quote, "I don't just hit people. Dialogue, of course, happens over time, and you usually ain't just triggered by something like that fast to that degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a team. Ain't nobody on my team triggering me in an instant. We know stuff that you don't say amongst men. We know things you have to stand on," end quote. Now, that forced a tweet by Jordan Poole's father. I'm not going to read that. And then a response by Draymond Green. He even responded to a fake tweet, fake quote from Kevin Garnett. He deleted that one. Listen, I just want to say this real quick. We don't have to spend much time on it because this has kind of been talked about ad nauseum. It's kind of over with. This is probably the last time we're going to cover it. They're on separate teams now. It's kind of over and done with. I'll say what I said from the beginning. I had people saying to me, Klay Thompson was the issue and he needs to go. Okay? If you're saying that, you're not understanding and seeing the big picture. This is more than basketball, people. This is beyond basketball. This goes beyond it. This is a personal issue that was not going to get fixed overnight. No conversation, no handshake, no hug, no bribes. Nothing was going to fix this issue. Draymond Green punched out Jordan Poole. It was on camera, leaked for reasons, whatever the case may be. Everybody saw it. It's out there. You can rewatch it right now. We don't know what was said. There were reports before this situation that when Jordan Poole got his bag, attitude started to change. Started rubbing people the wrong way. I don't care what Clay or Steph says in public. He's my low bro. I'm going to miss him, etc. You're saying all the right things in public, and I commend you for being a good teammate. What's happening behind closed doors is not that. See, you can't fake this shit. In the playoffs this year, we have video proof of Jordan Poole walking past Draymond Green while he's trying to get his attention and tell him something in a playoff game against the Kings. Walk right past him and ignore him. And Steph Curry having to check his ass right after the fact. You go look it up right now. We have video proof of Jordan Poole after a game against the Kings, I believe, or in the Lakers series, facing the opposite way of the media and not really paying no mind to them. And one-worded answers and complaining and bitching about his playing time, his opportunities. It's not me. It's the opportunities I'm given. I'm not giving these opportunities. Basically calling out Steve Kerr and etc. That problem is only getting worse. It boiled. You remove him from the situation because you weren't going to get rid of Draymond. You have to get rid of Jordan Poole. You trade him for what the best you can get. The best they can get was Chris Paul. Okay? We've talked about the Chris Paul move. I think it's going to be okay. I think the Warriors are going to be better than they were last year because I don't think they're going to be as shit as they were on the road last year.
No.
So I say all that to say this situation is finally cleared up. It's done. It's over with. Jordan Poole tweeted something out or IG Live something, gonna lyrics or whatever. I really didn't understand it that much. I'm happy this is over with. I think anybody that said otherwise that Jordan Poole need to stay is just dead wrong and doesn't understand this. If you've had this is what I'll say, and I'll kick it to you, Justin. If you've had an issue or a personal issue at a workplace, and I'm speaking from experience, that is unresolvable, you understand the situation. You understand what was needed to do, what needed to happen, and that's that.
You know, I'd say one. I'm so exhausted of them even talking about this. Like, this is over and done with. I guess off season they now just want to air out the laundry and do this whole Meek Mill Twitter fingers thing that everybody loves now. I mean, Draymond was about that action and we saw it, but I'm not saying that was the right thing to do. I think ultimately them two being separated from each other is best for the team long term. I think you bring in a guy like Chris Paul, a mature mind, a person that's been in the league for a long time, that's commanded a lot of respect to. You throw that in there as a as the replacement for Jordan Poole, it's perfect. I mean, Dre even still talking about this is kind of annoying to me. It just lay it to rest. That's really how it is. Lay it to rest. I think Golden State has bigger things on their mind than a little altercation that happened. You're grown men, and in an NBA locker room or in any team locker room, things happen. We argue with our teammates. I've been there. I've been there in high school. I've been there in college. I've argued with my teammates. I've got into other people's faces. We've done it before. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's brotherhood. Now, if you're not able to put that aside, Brandon, you have a brother. You fight with your brother before? Absolutely. I fought with my brother before, too. So I think this has just been all overblown. These guys clearly must have said things that were too personal for them to get over. So it's just better if they're separated now. The situation is done. Golden State can focus on being Golden State and going back to winning championships and competing for that. And Jordan Poole can go average 24 in Washington and not make the playoffs. So that's now everybody's happy. Right.
Now everybody's happy. Jordan Poole can now get his opportunity, his shine, his minutes, and et cetera, his shots. And like you said, the Golden State Warriors can now focus on competing for championships and keeping this dynasty together as much as they possibly can.
Yep.
So quickly, I just want to talk about UFC 294, Abu Dhabi. The card was announced. I'm just going to quickly touch on it. The main event was announced as Islam Makhachev, the reigning defending lightweight champion, is taking on Charles Do Bronx Oliveira in their rematch. The last fight that they had took place last year in October, actually, in Abu Dhabi, the same venue. And it ended, I think it was a second round submission by Islam Makhachev. It wasn't particularly close. Islam pretty much handled him. I'm not at Charles is coming off one win back in June against Beneil Dariush, who everybody thought Beneil was. I thought Beneil was going to win the fight. I kind of really wanted him to because I just wanted new blood for Islam to fight. I'm not particularly excited for this main event when I heard the announcement. Late last night, it was announced. I'm not excited. I much would have preferred the Volkanovski rematch. Volkanovski fought him to a 5-round decision. He lost. It was very close. A lot of people think Volk won that fight. He ended the fight in the 5th round, knocking Islam down and ended up on top of him, raining down heavy shots. That's a beautiful image to see, especially at the end of the 5-round fight. You're on top, hitting big time shots on him. That's the fight everybody wanted to see, and I do believe Volk would have been ready for it. He just fought a couple weeks ago, early July. He just had elbow surgery. Apparently, it was just a 6-week recovery time. I believe he would have been ready in time. I don't know why that fight wasn't made. Listen, things could always happen in the fight world. Charles could, pull out due to injury or whatever the case, and Volk can slide right in. We get the fight that everybody wanted, but I'm not particularly excited for this main event. I just think Islam kind of does what he did last time. And in the co-main event, Hamzat Chimaev, I call him Zad Daddy. Shout out Brendan Schaub for that nickname. He's taking on Paulo Costa. Chimaev is moving up to middleweight now. And we can finally see the Wolf compete again. It's been over a year now since he would have competed. Last September was his last fight. A lot of visa issues, a lot of rumors going around that it was visa issues. He couldn't. That's why he couldn't get fight. This fight, the co-main event, I'm much more excited for the co-main event than I am the main event. I think this is going to be an absolute war. Paulo Costa brings it, and Chimaev always brings it. And these guys don't like each other, and they're going to meet in the center of that cage, and they're going to swing and bang. And I'm particularly really excited for this card. So that is UFC 294 live from Abu Dhabi. I don't know. That's really what was announced. There was one more fight, not particularly big time news announced on that card, but I hope they stack it a little bit more. But those are the two fights for UFC 294 live from Abu Dhabi.
When is that? Saturday?
No, this is in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just announced it now. It's in October. It's going to be on a Saturday, but it's in October.
So I'm gonna touch on some Yankee stuff real quick.
Okay.
I don't do this too often, but you were talking about UFC, and my mind was just racing right now. The Yankees have hit rock bottom, a place that I haven't seen this team in a long time. Brian Cashman, our general manager, has not done his job. Your job as a general manager every offseason is to create a championship team, a team that can contend for a championship. And while the Yankees year after year can make it to the AL Championship Series, they never get the job done. They haven't done it since 2009. Right now, the Yankees have lost series to teams under 500. They've lost to the Cardinals. They've lost to the Rockies. They've lost to the Angels. They've lost to the Cubs. And the list goes on and on. After the All-Star break, I was salivating at the mouth because I saw the schedule. I was like, wow, we're on the road going to Colorado. What a time to get our offense right while Aaron Judge is gone. No, we lose 2 or 3. Then we play the Angels now, and then we just get swept. I was watching the game last night, and I've never felt more disgusted by my Yankee team and their offense in my life, in my entire lifetime. Our starting first baseman hasn't hit a home run since about May 21st. Since Aaron Judge has went down, this team has looked like a complete shell of themselves. And at this very moment, the Yankees stand in last place in the AL East with no clear direction on what's going to change. Gleyber Torres is your best hitter right now while Aaron Judge has been gone. Nobody's stepping up. I don't know what kind of trades or acquisition the Yankees are going to make to salvage this season, because the expectation in New York is always championships. So it's not sell. You can't sell. They're going to be buyers. Is it a Shohei Ohtani? You probably ruined that chance when you got swept and put the Angels back in playoff contention. Is it Juan Soto? San Diego Padres look like a much better team than you do now. It's probably, like I said, Brandon, the most disgusting performance on offense I've seen out of my Yankees in my entire 25 years of life. And I've seen them miss the playoffs. When you go into a season as the highest, one of the highest payrolls, and you got teams with bottom tier payrolls wiping the floor with you, something's got to change. I'm going to say it right now. This will be the last time you see Aaron Boone managing the Yankees this season, and then Brian Cashman. If you don't fix it, your tenure with New York is going to be done too. That's all I got to say.
I had to get that off your chest. Now,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
funny you bring up the Yankees because, Justin, I have a trivia topic for you, and it happens to be about your New York Yankees.
Uh-oh. I've been terrible with these trivia.
Hopefully this one's going to be a little easier for you. So, Justin Ray, can you name the top 10 New York Yankees all-time home run hitters?
Of all time?
Yes.
Okay. Babe Ruth, easily.
Number one with 659.
Mickey has to be up there. He's in the 500s, I believe.
Mickey is number two with 536.
Ooh, is A-Rod on that list? He was with us from 04 and on.
Is that an official guess?
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez is number 6 with 351.
Okay. How much you said? 651, and he's number 6?
He's 351. He's number 6.
351, and he's number 6. I got 3 so far. So Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig is number 3 with 493.
Lou Gehrig's number 3 with 493.
Four big names left.
You said big names left?
You got some big names left.
So Jeter's probably up in the top 10.
Derek Jeter is number 9 with 260.
Where's Bernie Williams?
Bernie Williams is number 7 with 287. So you're missing 10, 8, 5, and 4.
10, 8, 5, and 4. Jorge Posada might be 10.
Jorge Posada is number 8 with 275.
Okay, so I'm missing how much?
You're missing 10. You're missing 4. You're missing 4, 5, and 10.
4, 5, and 10. Is Joe D on that?
Joey DiMaggio, number 4 with 361.
So now I'm missing 5.
5 and 10.
5 and 10.
Oh, Justin might freaking clear it.
Joe, now you just stumped me, bro.
No, there's one more big name.
One more big name. That means you know the name.
I do know this name.
So you know him.
I don't know what he looks like. Couldn't pick him out of a police lineup, but I know the name.
Okay. 10.
No, he's number 5. He's number 5. I'll give you that. He's number 5, the big name.
Can you give me is he a more new face or somebody you've watched?
I like I said, I couldn't pick him out of. I'm being honest. I don't know. He's an older player, I think. He's got 358 home runs, Justin.
It's not Yogi.
Yogi Berra, number 5. All right, number 10. I have no idea who this is. He's got 250 home runs. I'll give you this hint. Number 11 is Aaron Judge with 239. So this guy's in the
Wow. Okay.
So he's in the middle of Jeter and Judge. He's probably going to be passed by Judge. Maybe this year if he gets.
It's not Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly.
No, Don is number 12 with 222.
Okay. So number 10. 250, you said?
Yep, right on the dot. You're going to know his name soon, probably this year when Judge passes him if he gets 12 home runs.
It's not. Is it Robinson Cano?
No, he's number 16 with 204.
Wow. I was gonna say Matsui, but I know it's not Matsui.
No, he's not even top.
This guy had to spend a lot of time as a Yankee. Is it Roy White?
It is not Roy White. He's not even top 25. All right, Justin, I'm going to give you 20 seconds starting now to get this.
No, Roy White.
15 seconds.
Roger Maris?
Nope.
You don't know this name, okay.
Nickname is Puff. 3 seconds.
Puff?
Yep. Timer's up.
That kind of threw me off.
Greg Nettles.
Oh, Greg Nettles. That's a throwback. Yeah, see, that's way back in the day. I didn't know he hit 250 home runs.
250 home runs, Justin.
Damn, okay. That's on me. I didn't associate him with like any home run moments and all that. So, but he was a Yankee for quite a while.
But he'll be passed by Aaron Judge very soon. So,
yeah, so
12 home runs. Do you think Aaron Judge gets 12 more home runs in the season?
Well, he needs to be on the field.
Oh, he's not on the field.
Yeah, he's injured, which is a big reason why the Yankees are playing the way they are. If he gets back before, I see no reason. If he's healthy and he comes back strong, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 15.
Okay. You still got a little more time?
Yeah, I got one more. What's up?
Okay. So, here's a quick one. I saw this. Since 2013, Justin, can you name the teams that haven't won their division since 2013? There are 7 teams that have not won their division since 2013.
Ooh, this is tough.
And you name them.
This is tough. I'm gonna say the Diamondbacks.
No, sorry. This is football. I apologize.
Okay.
Justin was like, wait a second.
I was like, whoa.
All right, let me repeat that. NFL teams that have not won their division since 2013, there are 7. Justin, can you name them?
7 teams that have not won their division since 2013.
Yes.
The Giants have not won their division.
Giants are one of them.
Okay. Miami hasn't won their division.
Miami is one of them as well. Go through them.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at my little sheet right here. Denver's won their division. The Jets.
The Jets have not. I'm going to give you a minute and a half.
The Raiders.
Yep. Got 3 more.
Oh, man. I was about to say Panthers, but I know they did. I don't want to get wrong. I don't want to get anything wrong.
He's like, I'm confident I'm doing
I don't want anything wrong. The Jaguars did win their division at some point. So it's not them.
Yeah.
I'm missing just one.
No, you're missing 3.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
1 minute.
I don't have a list of teams in front of me, so I'm like blanking on things.
Go through the divisions, Justin.
Since 2013.
You got 2 AFC teams, 1 NFC team.
Okay. 1 NFC team. Cardinals.
No,
they won. I got something wrong. Yeah.
35 seconds.
Not the NFC East. I mean, Washington?
No, they won.
They wanted to.
25 seconds.
Lions.
Yep. 2 AFC teams, Justin. Come on.
AFC teams.
2 different divisions.
2 different divisions. So
10 seconds.
I'm stumped right now.
5, 4.
I don't have enough time.
3, 2. Just name a team. 1.
I don't.
Oh, you're close. You're close.
Damn.
The Cleveland Browns.
I'm so dumb.
And the Los Angeles Chargers.
I didn't think of Cleveland because of the run they went on. And then I thought of the Chargers, but the year that they when we took them on in the playoffs with Phillip Rivers, I thought they won the division, so I just ruled them out completely.
No. You're close, Justin.
Wow.
You did good.
Chargers, Browns. Okay.
Chargers
I
and
promise.
Browns.
Next time I'm gonna come with some trivia for you. I was gonna make that running back one the trivia, but we ended. It was perfect for the conversation. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. To end this off real quick, I do just want to ask you one quick question, not sports related. Have you seen the Mission Impossible movies, and are you a fan?
Okay, so I haven't seen the movies, but I did watch the last one.
What do you mean the one that just came out, or
That
the
just
last
came
one?
out. I saw it in the movies. Yeah.
What? Okay, come on, Justin. You can't watch a brand new movie and not know what happened before it.
I love the movies, so you know that already. I was bored one day. I told my girl I don't want to be home. Let's just go. We saw the movie and it was exciting. I don't think you needed to be up to date with everything to watch that
I'm
movie.
doing that right now. I am doing that right now. I'm watching all. I just watched the fourth one.
Okay. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, the second one is god awful. I didn't even finish it. It's just terrible. The first one's okay. The third one is better. The fourth one is better than the third one. So it's getting progressively better. I expect the next two to be pretty good. I'm pretty sure the one with Henry Cavill is very good. So, and I'm hearing incredible reviews about Dead Reckoning.
No, this one was the one that I just watched was incredible. I love the action. I'm a big action guy, so I'm looking forward to. Also, this Sunday, I'm having a day of cinema. I'm going to the movies and I am watching Oppenheimer first and Barbie second.
So you got somebody. Let me guess, you're going with your girlfriend to watch Barbie?
Of course, and I'm taking my mom too.
Yeah. See, I tried to find somebody. None of my friends will go with me to watch Barbie.
Bro, come along, drive up to New Rochelle and you'll watch it.
New York to watch. No. But I am probably going to go see Oppenheimer very soon. But nobody will go see Barbie with me. They're men are not. They're afraid they're going to get laughed at.
It's a comedy.
It's funny. It's a comedy movie, people. It's a comedy movie. All right.
People don't know how to have fun. Take John with you to see Barbie. He'll watch it.
Yeah. I'm going through right now. I have a list of iconic movies and movies I haven't seen, Justin. I'm trying to get them off right now. So
okay,
that's why I asked you about that. But with all that being said, that wraps up episode 117 of the Wise Guys podcast. Thank you all for watching and joining in with us. Keep the conversation going. Follow us on Twitter. You see the apps right there. The links will be in the description as well. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share the content with your friends and family. It means the world to us. Turn that notification bell on to be notified right away when we drop our new episodes and go live and etc.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was We Are the Wise Guys. That was our podcast. I'm Brandon Capozziello. That was Justin Ray.
Stay classy, y'all.
Peace out, everybody.
Oh, that's fine, bro.